विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ ब्रह्माश्रया सत्वरजस्तमो गुणात्मिका माया अस्ति। So yesterday we were seeing the Ishvara is a abhinna nimitta upadana karanam. Ishvara is through Maya, of course. Through Maya he is definitely he is a material cause, means he is the material. Material becomes cause. So he is the material and he is the maker. And to understand that, we took two examples also, and one is a spider, and the spider of course it's a limited example, of course, because the material also comes out from his body. So from his body standpoint, the spider is called material cause, and from his own standpoint, as a conscious being having certain knowledge how to make the web, etc. So from his own standpoint, from a conscious being standpoint, he is called a efficient cause. Spider is called efficient cause. So one spider alone becomes an efficient cause and material cause. But then the problem is still the spider is different from the web. That much is true, right? So spider can come out of the web. Well, so that example does not really fit. So we have another example from the Shastra. That example is also from Shastra only. Yatha urnanabihi srujate ghrunate cha, Mundakopanishad says that. Yatha urnanabihi, the spider creates the web, and ghrunate, it swallows also. Well, but the dream example is really good. It serves all the purpose. And we have seen in this, the whole dream creation is not from me alone. And so the created Jagat is the creator, or the effect is the cause. And the Shruti does not propose two causes. Shruti does not propose two causes. And there is a statement which clearly states this. So kamayata bahusyam prajaya so kamayata. He desired through Maya, he has become a desirer, as though. Because the creation is as though. And if there is no creation, real creation, then desirer of the creation is also as though. And therefore, he cannot desire. Brahman cannot desire anything unless, like I cannot desire. A conscious being cannot desire unless the mind is there. If mind is resolved, I am just a conscious being, but I cannot desire. To have a desire, also a conscious being has to become a desirer. Then definitely mind is required. Same way, without Maya, that is the mind of Ishvara, let's say. That's a upadhi rather. So upadhi of this consciousness or Brahman, well, through that he becomes a desirer of creation. And definitely And as he becomes the desirer itself, the time has come, right? Consciousness does not have a time or space or anything, and therefore time and space does not exist in consciousness. Please understand this. When the consciousness through Maya becomes a desirer, the very time has come, because you say he has become desirer. So becoming is definitely because the time is involved. And then of course what he desired is the creation, and how the creation has come about from this Paramatma, from the Ishvara, to make us understand. This example has been given of a dream. So he has desired that may I become many. So may I become many indicates that he himself is a material, and therefore he is from his own standpoint, he is a material cause. He is an efficient cause. And from his Maya standpoint, he is a material cause. We'll see that how from the Maya everything comes. So this is how he is the Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karan. To make us understand, this a dream example is given. And very beautiful thing is, we can compare these two things, individual and Ishvara, a Jiva and Ishvara both. Jiva creates a dream, Ishvara creates this world. That's the only difference. But the things are the same. Before creation of the entire universe, there was nothing but Paramatma. They say like that. This Sadeva Asit, Ekameva Dvitiyam, etc. So this Sat alone was there before this creation came about. And therefore, definitely there was nothing else, it indicates. Same way, this individual also, before he creates a dream world, there was nothing else. How? Because there was a sleep. In sleep, there was no time, no space, no objects, nothing. No senses, and all this are resolved. And in a deep sleep state, all that is there is the person and nothing else. And from that, creation. So I can say, before this dream creation, I was there alone. I can say like that. Sadeva Soma idam agra asit ekameva dvidiyam. Idam agre ekameva asit. Entire dream world, this agre, before the creation, was me alone, was I alone, or was Sat alone. So Sushupta Purusha also is basically nothing but Sat alone. In fact, it has resolved into Sat. We have seen that, and Chandogya says very beautifully, Sata Somya Tada Sampanno Bhavati Na Swamapito Bhavati Swapiti iti Nama, etc. etc. So he remains in a form of a Sat. That's how he is getting a joy also, because Sat or Brahman is Ananda. Anyway, so from there this creation comes. Dream creation comes from basically from the Sushupti. It's a Layavastha, and that this creation comes from a Pralayavastha. So same thing is there. In Pralaya there was nothing other than Paramatma, and in Layavastha there was nothing other than this Jiva, Sushupta Purusha. Same thing. One is Layavastha, other is Pralayavastha. And then it starts dreaming. And then definitely in a dream, this knowledge of this individual manifest. He has a lot of knowledge, he has a lot of memory, he has a lot of impressions born of the different experiences of the past as a waker. And he dies to our entire waking state, as though. Dies means he is totally become blank. And then whatever the impressions were left, from there the whole dream world comes. So his knowledge alone manifests in the form of dream world. And so I am the dreamer, which is a conscious entity. From dreamer's standpoint, he is the creator of a dream world, efficient cause. And what is created, also his knowledge, which is non-separate from him. His knowledge becomes the material. Please understand this very well. is knowledge alone becomes the material, and that manifests. And that is why your knowledge is different, my knowledge is different, and therefore our both, your creation is different, my creation is different, dream creation is different. Even though you see the human beings, I see the human beings. You see the road, I also see the road. I created roads and you also created roads. And you create the trees, I also create the trees. You create a mobile, I also create a mobile. But different. Why? Because your knowledge is different from me. Your knowledge means your impressions born out of the experiences in the waking state, and not the waking state of this life, could be of a different lives also, previous lives also. Anything can manifest, because all that is a storage in a Karana Sharira, and from there anything can come out. Anyway, so this is how ultimately our knowledge is the material, and I, the conscious being as a dreamer, is a conscious being. Well, and that becomes an efficient cause, a creator of a dream, and knowledge manifests. That knowledge is a material. So I become, and knowledge is non-separate from me. Like my knowledge right now of whatever I am teaching you is non-separate from me, right? You cannot find, you never say that Swami has come plus his knowledge has come. You will not tell like that. Swami and his knowledge have one. You will count as a conscious entity. You will never count knowledge. That's the thing. Please understand this. You will always count a conscious. Swamiji, both the things are there. Conscious being and his knowledge. But I never say the knowledge is coming. Today at 10 o'clock in our place, we have invited for Bhiksha. Knowledge we have invited for Bhiksha. Oh, conscious entity. No. Conscious entity is non-separate. No, we say conscious being is coming. You never talk about knowledge. So in your understanding, the knowledge is non-separate from the conscious being. Not the conscious being is non-separate from the knowledge. Please understand this very well. Knowledge is non-separate from the conscious being. You give a priority to the conscious being. In your understanding, there is a reality of a conscious being compared to the knowledge. This is the way we have to compare our Maya. Anyway, so my knowledge is never outside of me. It's only myself, and well, that manifests. So before the dream creation, there was a total blankness. Other than me, there is nothing. No time, no space, nothing. And from there, whole dream world comes. The knowledge which was non-separate from me, that knowledge alone has started manifesting. The unmanifest knowledge took a shape of a manifest creation called dream world. The unmanifest knowledge, which is non-separate from the conscious. I'm using all these things in order to make you understand what is going on at the level of cosmos also. So the knowledge which is non-separate from me, which is hidden, which is unmanifest, alone manifest. Right now in a waking state, even I don't know how many impressions I have, all born of past, but they suddenly appear in the dream, you know very well. And so that is how this unmanifest knowledge, and unmanifest knowledge means unmanifest names and forms, remain in the form of, form of unmanifest, that alone manifest. And before they manifest, there is nothing other than me. That's a deep sleep state. Same way Paramatma alone was there, and his knowledge, that is nothing but his knowledge means this unmanifest, what all the names and forms alone manifest in the form of Jagat. And this unmanifest names and forms, that is called Maya. Anyway, so basically, it's a fact that I alone is the material cause so far as the dream is concerned. I am the dreamer, the efficient cause, and my knowledge alone is the material cause. So I am basically a efficient and the material cause, knowledge being non-separate from me, and therefore I am the efficient cause and material cause. And therefore the dream tree is a knowledgeable dreamer. me. The dream leaf is a knowledgeable dreamer, me. Knowledgeable dreamer means dreamer, the conscious entity plus non-separate, the knowledge. That alone makes the dream world, right? And therefore, basically, a knowledgeable me, a knowledgeable dreamer, knowledgeable conscious entity called dreamer, manifest in form of the dream world. So the dream mountain is a knowledgeable you, and that is how it goes on. In other words, where our own knowledge is manifest in the form of a dream world. So both the causes, nimitta karanam and this upadana karanam of this jagat, which includes our, sthula sharira and sukshma sharira also, are traced to one Ishvara. And so creation is nothing but Ishvara himself manifesting in the form of Jagat. Well, this is how we have to see the dream creation is nothing but the dreamer alone manifesting in the form of the dream world. So this is how, so understanding of Ishvara is one who is manifest in the form of this Jagat. It is his knowledge that is manifest in the form of Jagat. And if knowledge is manifest in the form of Jagat, then there is nothing inert in the world. How can you say, Swamiji, then there is nothing inert? Because wherever the knowledge is there, the conscious entity must be there. Have you ever seen knowledge separate from conscious entity? Never. You won't find a knowledge here. It's a inert. But wherever knowledge is there, a conscious being must be there. Knowledge cannot exist independent of a conscious entity. And therefore, if Ishvara's knowledge alone manifests in the form of Jagat, so wherever you find anything born of Ishvara's knowledge, well, the conscious being is right there. Who is the conscious being? Ishvara is right there. Ishvara is right there. So, you just go back again to the dream world. Whatever the dream objects are there, that is nothing but the knowledge of the dreamer. Then definitely dreamer is right there where the dream object is. A dreamer, the conscious being, is right there where the dreamer is. Because where the dream object is. So dreamer is non-separate, the dream object which is non-separate from the dreamer, if you say. So wherever the dream object is, suppose I am seeing in dream, definitely the dreamer is right there. Dreamer and dream object cannot be separate. Because it is manifestation of my knowledge. And therefore, this is a very important thing. This is only in Hinduism. And therefore, entire dream world is a conscious whole. Conscious whole. Because dreamer alone has manifest in the form of dream world. Or his knowledge alone manifests in the form of dream world. And knowledge can never be separate from the dreamer. Entire dream world is a conscious whole. Pujya Swamiji's word, whole, is one whole. There is no separation. And therefore any object in the dream, well, through that dream object, you can look at the dreamer from any dream object. Because the dreamer is right there. Right? Dreamer is right there. So, from any dream object, you can look at the dreamer. Like, suppose in a dream, there is an onlooker of the dream world. Let's say, we imagine even one person who is looking at the dream world. And he's telling, it's a part of the dream world. And he's telling what? He is looking at the dream world and he is showing a sun, dream sun, and telling that through dream sun, I am worshipping the dreamer. Is it right or wrong? Is it right or wrong? It's right. Because wherever the dream sun is there, the dreamer, the conscious entity is right there. Because it is nothing but the manifestation of the knowledge of the dreamer. Knowledge is non-separate from the dreamer. So wherever the knowledge manifests, even it is in the form of a dream sun, but where the dream sun is, that dreamer is. Or where the dream sun is, the conscious entity is, the dreamer. And therefore the onlooker in a dream, looks at the dream sun and as though worships, that I am worshipping this Aditya Devata, right? I am worshipping the Aditya Devata. I am worshipping the dreamer who is in the form of a Aditya Devata. I am worshipping this dreamer who is in the form of a Ashwatha tree. I am worshipping the dreamer who is in the form of this dream Vayu, dream air. I am worshipping the dreamer who is in the form of a dream fire. Is it okay or not? So-called inert entities called air and fire and sun, all so-called inert entities will be looked upon as a devatas, because the conscious being, the dreamer, is non-separate from it. One dreamer alone has manifest in the form of the entire Virat Purusha, in the form of entire dream world, Virat Purusha, right? And he pervades the entire dream world, right? Entire dream body, dream world. And therefore, any one thing I can look upon, any one object of a dream I can look upon, remaining in a dream world, I can look upon it and worshipping it as a devata. The same conscious entity who manifests in a particular aspect, because it is his knowledge alone manifest, and therefore he can be worshipped in a one particular form. So I can worship the dreamer in the form of Aditya. So then I can say, I am worshipping Aditya Devata, because Devata means a conscious entity. And therefore, this is how it should be understood. I am worshipping the dreamer in the form of a fire, dream fire. This is how one should be understood. So this is the principle we have. So because it is a manifestation of one dreamer, and therefore there is nothing inert as such, so far as Hinduism is concerned. Oh Swamiji, but there are dream objects which are inert and sentient and all. That's correct. Even inert objects are pervaded by the dreamer. Or sentient objects are also pervaded by a dreamer. Same way, this entire universe, which has a sentient and insentient things, all are part of one conscious whole. One conscious whole. One creation. That is the knowledge of the Ishvara. That's the knowledge of Ishvara alone manifest. And knowledge being non-separate from the consciousness, definitely wherever the knowledge manifests in any form, there the conscious being is right there. So you can invoke that conscious being through this form, through this aspect. When you invoke Ishvara in a given aspect, we call it as a Devata. We call it as a Devata. And therefore you can worship in thousands and thousands of forms. Thousands forms. So that's how they say 33 crore devatas. Why 33? There are 333 crores. Let's say that. Nothing. Because every form is a manifestation of Ishvara. Every form, no, somebody tell properly. Every form is a knowledge of Ishvara. It's a manifestation of knowledge of Ishvara. Well, and knowledge being non-separate from the conscious entity, ultimately, definitely, any form is non-separate from the conscious entity. Please understand this. If knowledge is non-separate from the conscious entity, and whatever you see is just his knowledge, then definitely any form is directly non-separate from the Ishvara. Any object in the dream world is non-separate directly from the dreamer. That's the principle. That is how any form we can analyze it, and we find it asti bhati priyam, or the consciousness right here. Right here we find. Because ultimately his knowledge alone has manifested. Knowledge is non-separate from the consciousness, and therefore definitely any form you can pick up and you can arrive at the consciousness or Ishvara in his in reality also. Or Ishvara can be invoked in this form as a Devata. That's also correct. I am a Jiva and I am invoking Ishvara for his grace in a particular aspect. Then that becomes a Devata. It becomes a Upasya. And Jiva becomes a Upasaka, etc. etc. So no form is separate from Ishvara, and so we can severally see the various forms of manifestation. We can also severally worship Ishvara as devatas or deities, and so and therefore even though we have 333 crore devatas, we have one Ishvara. We can say that. Unlike Christians, unlike Muslims, they say there is only one God. And they tell us that you have thousands and crores of gods. We say we have crores of gods and still we have only God. We have all crores of gods, but still there is not one God. There is only God. Only God. Therefore, that's the difference between us and the Christians and Muslims. There is only one God. That is either Allah or that is their God, whatever. I mean, Jesus. We say there is only God. And therefore, if there is only God, whatever you can invoke God in any aspect, because there is only God. And therefore, you can invoke in any name and form. Well, and that becomes Devata. And therefore, all the Devatas are nothing but the Ishvara in a given aspect. A given aspect. And there are this all intelligent creation, that's all manifestation of knowledge, and therefore basically this is how Devatas, crores of Devatas and God, I mean the Parameshwara, can stand together, because Devatas are nothing but the manifestation, just a manifestation in a particular name and form of a dreamer. That is how it is. Just like a dreamer can coexist with all the dream objects. In any dream object, you can invoke a dreamer, right? But you are invoking a one dreamer through dream fire or a dream air, or let's say dream water. You can invoke Jaladevata. You can invoke anything, any aspect. That's ultimately you are invoking one dreamer. One dreamer only is invoked in a given aspect in a dream world. Then it becomes Devata. This is how we have to understand. And therefore all forms of worship are validated because of this vision. So everything is God for us. This is what the speciality in this culture, and that speciality is nothing but the reverence. So whether people, Swami, people in India are not sensitive, they are not reverential to the creation, etc. But if you scratch a little surface, you will find them that is lying there. And that is how we worship every form. We worship even, and not only that, even we worship all animals also, because they become Vahana of the Devata. And so you worship that also. So we worship bullock, we worship mouse, everything is worshipped. Everything is worshipped. Because we worship Devata and then you worship that vehicle also. Anyway, but independently also we worship. Nothing to... that's how the Panchamaha Yajna has a basis in this. When you do a Bhuta Yajna, means you are definitely doing service to any other living beings, looking upon them as a God. That's how it becomes Karma Yoga also. Karma Yoga means Ishvara Arpa Buddhi, offering to the Lord. But where is Lord? Then I want to reach there and then I will offer. So this universe is a manifestation. Universe alone is a manifestation of Parameshwara. And therefore any aspect you take and you can offer your service, that becomes Yajna. And that's how Bhuta Yajna. All the Bhutas are manifestation of Parameshwara. Then all the living beings. And then Brahma Yajna. All the Rishis are manifestation of Ishvara. And the scriptures are manifestation of Ishvara. And then Pitru Yajna. All the Pitrus, our forefathers and our father, mother, etc., all parents, all are manifestation of Ishvara. So you offer service there. You are offering service not to the father, mother. Please understand that. It's a very wide vision that I am offering my service or my karma to Parameshwara, who is in the form of parents. This is how it is. Not I am offering my services to the parents. I am offering my services to the Parmeshwara who is in the form of parents. That's a big difference, big difference. And then definitely we other things also we are saying Deva Yajna. All the devatas also are manifestation of Parmeshwara. And therefore Deva Yajna means I am worshipping Parmeshwara who is in the form of a Ishta Devata. That is the criteria. Anyway, so this is our vision. This is our vision, and that vision has been arrived at just by one thing. Ishvara is the material cause. That's a big thing. Ishvara is an efficient cause, means then he can be separate from the creation and remaining somewhere and having knowledge, desire, skills and the power, etc. He creates, but separate from the creation. Then in that case there are several problems which we don't want to discuss right now. But that is the vision other religion has. We say he is the maker, he is the efficient cause, and he is the material. And if he is the material, the whole universe is his manifestation. And if the whole universe is in manifestation, you can invoke Parmeshwara in any given aspect, and then it becomes Devata. Parmeshwara in a particular aspect is called Devata. And that is how we can invoke in any form. So we have crores and crores of devatas. That is correct. All are manifestation of one Parmeshwara. And because there is only Parmeshwara. There is not only one God. There is only God. That's how it is. So this is how, and then well, definitely, therefore Ishvara is also both he and she, right? Because whole universe is his manifestation, then definitely, even though we generally use, conventionally we use he, Ishvara or Bhagavan, etc., we immediately put he. But that is a convention. But in reality, because if he is manifestation in the entire universe, then entire universe has all the three lingas. Then which linga Ishvara has? Because there are males here, there are females also, and there are neuters also in the creation. And you say the whole Jagat is his manifestation. And Jagat has all the three lingas. Then what linga Ishvara has? If you say only he's are Ishvara, then Ishvara is he. Then what about these females? What about the neuters? Etc. And therefore basically this he, she, etc. you can call him, you can invoke him in he, you can invoke him in she also. Anything. And more than that, I am telling you this, this he, she, etc. This kind of a gender difference is only pertaining to the physical body. If you go little away further inside, go to the subtle body. There is no he subtle body and she subtle body. You cannot say me, sir, Swamiji, male I and female I. Male hunger and female hunger. There is no difference. There is hunger, but there is no male hunger or female hunger. Right? And therefore, this kind of, Swamiji, male sadness and female sadness. No. The causes of sadness are different. But then definitely, you won't find, at a level of a subtle body, no difference. Just at the gross level, gross body level, there is a difference in terms of gender. And therefore, Ishvara is who manifested in the form of the entire gross prapancha and the entire subtle prapancha, well, an entire causal prapancha, of course, well, further you won't find a difference. And at a gross level also, you will find all the three lingas are there. And therefore, we cannot, if that alone is a Ishvara, then we cannot tell Ishvara as a he, she or it. Or if you want to say, you should have to invoke him in, you have to say, invoke him. Anyway, you have to invoke him in any gender. That's how our Parmeshwara is always he and she, both. He and she. That's how he is a Shiva and he is a Shakti also. You can invoke. That's how Ardhanarishvara. So no, not separate. But they make a little difference like this. So Ishvara alone is an efficient cause. Well, then he is Purusha, male. And from the material cause standpoint, he is she. Generally, that is how we see. So, Purusha and Prakriti. And so, Purusha means the efficient cause. Parmeshwara alone is the efficient cause, so he is called Purusha. Parmeshwara alone is a material cause, so he is called Shakti. Purusha or Prakriti. Prakriti, Shakti. So, we invoke her also in form of Shakti. We have Upasana, etc. We can worship in Navaratris, etc. in the form of Shakti. And other male forms. I mean, we worship in form of Krishna and Rama and other things. So he is a father and mother. That's a big thing. He is the father and he is the mother because he only has created everything. He only has manifested in this form. So there is nothing that is outside Ishvara, and there is nothing outside order. That's a big thing. So we have to settle account with Ishvara now. We have to settle account. So convert this Ishvara into order. If you want to settle account with Ishvara, we have to settle account with our parents. That's how it is. In this country, it is a very big thing. Unless, there are issues with the parents. When I was innocent and, very helpless. And I look upon the parents as God. And they did not behave properly. And that creates lots of problems for children. And every child has a certain issues of the childhood. Every child has, basically. But somebody rectifies it. How they will rectify? Through the devotion to the Parmeshwara. Looking upon Parmeshwara as a father and mother, they resolve the issues they resolve the issues which were there with the parents. Here they resolve it. And Parmeshwara is a great therapist. And therefore, we resolve our issues. And when you look upon Ishvara as an order, then the big thing is, whatever is there, you accept as it is. You will not have a complaint. You won't have any complaint. And that is how they say, Pujya Swami used to tell like this. This is how Ishvara is. This is how, but what is before that? Yeah, before that is this. This is how, this is my husband. This is how Ishvara is. This is my mind. This is how Ishvara is. This is my look. This is how Ishvara is. This is my gross body. This is how Ishvara is. So all the things are resolved because ultimately Ishvara is in the form of all the forms. He alone is there in the form of the creation, and therefore, that is the order. There is no disorder at all. And therefore, everything is in the order. And therefore, whatever my mind is right now, or whatever the mind of somebody else is, it's in order. It's in order. Order means it has a cause. Whatever the person is right now, there is a cause. Because all is ultimately within the realm of Ishvara. And therefore, this is how it is resolved. Base thing of resolution, the issues with the world is looking upon it as a order. Then only it resolves. And that's how there is an order meditation. It is not Nididhyasana. It's a Ishvara Dhyana. And Ishvara in the form of order. And therefore, anybody's mind, don't complain. It's a psychological order. Whatever the mind of a particular person is, there is an order for that. And therefore, there is a cause for it. There is a psychological order. And human being's mind functions in a one way, and the other person's mind functions in a different way. Everyone's mind functions differently, definitely. And therefore, this is how we look upon the Ishvara as both father and mother. And so that means basically it has been said as, the day you see my mind as Ishvara, day you see your mind as Ishvara, then the day you have found a trust in Ishvara, because you have established a bonding with Ishvara. This is how it is. So, no complaint whatsoever, neither for yourself, neither for anybody. Because if everything is Ishvara, there is no scope of complaint. He is like that, and she is like that, and Swami is like that, and so like. Nothing. Whatever is there is Ishvara. and therefore whatever is there is in order. If it is in order, there is no scope to complain. And therefore, an order indicates a niyati. Order means a niyati. Niyati means it has a cause. It is functioning through some law. Everything is functioning through the law. Law which is universal law, because one which Ishvara alone has manifested. And I can give you an example of Pujya Swami tells them, you know very well about order, but my eye is functioning right now, is able to see, and therefore your eyes also is able to see. A snake eye also is able to see, and a bluebird's eye also is able to see, etc. etc. So everywhere, wherever the eye is, there is it does the job of a seeing. Means there is one law pervading in terms of seeing, etc. That's called order. Order in seeing. Could you follow? And that has definitely, it's a law, and therefore there is a cause-effect relationship. The seeing is an effect, but it is possible because this. Well, so that one law which pervades in terms of seeing, which pervades. So all the sense organ for function is within the order. That is the manifestation of Ishvara. All the human minds function in a particular way, or reacts in a particular way, act in a particular way, have a freedom, and utilizing the freedom or abusing the freedom, all is within the order. All is within the order. So and so thing will be there, then human mind will definitely abuse the freedom. And so etc. etc. Wherever there is a pressure of a raga dvesha, etc., definitely he is going to abuse his freedom. Well, it's a law. It's a law. And it is not applicable only to me, suppose. It's applicable to any other person. But Swamiji, but raga dveshas are there. That is law. How? Raga dvesha also is within order? Yeah, raga dvesha is within order. When there is a self-ignorance, then there is going to be a raga dvesha. You know very well, but I don't want to go into that. Self-ignorance and then self-confusion. And self-confusion means the body, etc. you will take it as yourself. And whatever is conducive to the body, I like. Whatever is non-conducive to the body, I don't like. Raga dvesha arises. Whatever is conducive to my intellect, I like. Whatever is not conducive to my intellect, I don't like. That's how whoever gives me respect, I like. Whoever does not give me respect, I don't like. So when you say respect, Swamiji, but respect should be there, right? Yeah, but respect to what? Respect to ultimately Anatma. We respect can go ultimately up to ego, not further. So, but because ego is considered as Atma. Why ego is considered Atma? Because self-confusion. Self-confusion. Ego is Atma is a self-confusion. But why self-confusion? Self-ignorance. Now see. Oh, self-ignorance. Oh, that is all. It is rampant. Whoever is born is self-ignorant. Whoever is born is self-ignorant. That's order. That's order. And therefore the self-confusions will be there, is also order. And self-confusion is there, then therefore conducive, non-conducive, raga, dvesha, likes, dislikes are going to be there. So if you look like that, you have resolved the issue. You have resolved the issue. You have brought an order into the picture. And you have resolved the issue. That is the maturity required before self-knowledge. That's how they say. This all relating to Ishvara, worshipping Ishvara and getting his anugraha, etc. is all this. Looking upon, Pujya Swamiji used to always tell this, Ishvara is, in the form of order, and more of Ishvara in your life, less of you. Means more you see the orders, at physical order, psychological order, more you see the emotional order, etc. Well, more you see the order in your life, then less of you. Well, definitely less of your raga, dvesha, etc. definitely will come out of the raga, dvesha. So again, this is the settlement of the issues. Anyway, and so this presentation of Ishvara in the form of this nimitta upadana karanam provides us an opportunity to establish the bonding. And that started when I was a child and got disturbed, and which is going to complete now. The issues with the parents, have not resolved, because as a child I was innocent and helpless, so whatever I was injured psychologically, etc., it is lying there. and now you have to process it. And that procession, I mean, you can process it when you get another parents and who is able to solve this problem. And those parent is nothing but Ishvara. From the material standpoint, material cause standpoint, he is mother, and from the efficient cause standpoint, he is father. And so definitely we can resolve our issues. That is the result of Karma Yoga. One becomes emotionally mature. And therefore, for that purpose, all our rituals are there, and therefore we worship the deities, and that is with a devotion, etc., we can come out of it. We offer the whole puja also is there, and it has to be there. Like those parents, I used to take care. And similarly, these parents also, these are real parents now. These are parents of parents. Well, then you take care of. How will I take care? That's puja. That is the worship. That is the bhakti. Your devotion is the caring of these parents. Your devotion toward Ishvara is the devotion towards caring the parents. That's the Ishvara is the parents. So, Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva, etc. So, anyway, looking at this Jagat, we understand that there is, this Brahman alone becomes like, efficient cause and material cause through the Maya, etc. And in that Brahman, which is the Ashraya for Maya. The Maya aspect undergoes a change, is called Parinami Upadan Karanam, a material cause which undergoes a modification. Those things I will have to explain you all this. Maya is Brahman, but Brahman is not Maya. All this. What is really Maya, and what is its relationship with the Brahman, etc., we will have to establish. Now that topic we will start from Panchadashi, but that I will start from tomorrow. I will take few verses which I have already told you from chapter 2, which are really good in order to understand the nature of Maya and its relation with the Brahman, etc. All these aspects we will have to see. Because how the Maya is a material cause that is changing, well, we will have to see that. So I will stop it here. I will give you meditation, and that topic will start from tomorrow. In every form of knowledge, knowledge is common. I think of a book. I have book knowledge. Think of a tree, mango tree. I have tree knowledge. Think of the sun. I have sun knowledge. I hear the sounds of birds. I have knowledge of heard sounds. In all these forms of knowledge, what is common is knowledge. Listen to the various sounds you gather. The sounds of birds or any other sound made by anybody. You just hear. In every knowledge of the sound, I am consciousness. The consciousness is common, present. Try to appreciate and just be the consciousness. In every form of sound I hear, the sound knowledge I have. Listen. The sound is heard. In consciousness, itself undivided. In consciousness, the sound is heard. See the truth of this. In consciousness, the sound is heard. I am undivided consciousness. See the meaning. I am undivided consciousness. In spite of sounds heard, in spite of thoughts of forms entertained, think of a mango tree. The leaves, the trunk, the branch, one whole tree. Now, remove the tree from the mind. Remove the tree from the mind. The tree, the form, gone. The name, gone. What is left is consciousness. To remove the tree is to appreciate I am consciousness. See the meaning of the word consciousness. Consciousness. Consciousness of tree. Consciousness of book. Consciousness undivided. I am undivided consciousness. Repeat in the mind. I am undivided consciousness. Consciousness undivided. Consciousness undivided. Formless. I, formless, consciousness. No sounds, consciousness. No forms, formless, consciousness. No sounds, silence, consciousness. Silence, consciousness. One undivided whole, consciousness. I, formless, consciousness. 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 Oh. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ